What's up, guys? So today I just want to do a quick kind of, I don't even want to call it a review because it's really not a review, but a quick plug for what I feel is probably one of the most incredible things you can add to your everyday carry. And I say that knowing that a lot of you have probably seen 1,000 everyday carry videos, have probably lots of opinions, and I'm probably going to look at this and blow this video off as just a bunch of hot air. But guys, let me just point out the facts. If you carry a gun every day, carry a knife for self-defense, a gun for self-defense, and you're running around with a Glock 19 with an RMR and a 15-round magazine in the gun and a 19-round, extended magazine and a Benchmade knife, and you got your Surefire light and your other Surefire light, and you're running around in your 511 pants and your 511 shirt, and okay, cool, whatever. Don't give a damn. But here's the thing. I've watched a lot of everyday carry videos. I've watched a ton of them, mainly because, I've never done an everyday carry video specifically. I don't really know if I would do one. I kind of want to do one, but I kind of watch these videos and I'm like, this is just, okay, cool. I've seen a lot of people who talk about their gun and their holster, and their $700 gun and their $500 worth of upgrades and their $100 holster and their $300 flashlight is all well and good. But, the chances of somebody of having to deploy that firearm in self-defense is so remote that it begs the question, are you focusing on the right things with your everyday carry? So let's think about this. The average American is not going to ever be in a self-defense shooting. Most people are never going to go into a grocery store in Aurora, Colorado on the day a madman comes in and shoots 10 and kills 10 people. Likely you're not going to be that guy, because obviously there was no guy there. So for all that training you do with your gun and all that gear you buy and all those fancy holsters and all that fancy shit you put on your Glock or your SIG 365 or otherwise, good for you. But you know what? Let me be clear. I've been there. I was that guy who, I got the coolest holster. I've got the best gun, whatever. You guys, at the end of the day, if you drive a car, you're more likely to die because of that car than because of some guy shot you or stabbed you or tried to, or killed you in any other fashion because he was a psychopath. Let's be realistic here. What is going to kill most people who everyday carry is the shit you deal with every day that you don't pay enough attention to and therefore not prepared to handle. So, what is more likely? Getting in a car accident and sustaining a life-threatening injury, or sustaining a gunshot wound or a knife wound from a psychopath killer? If you are the person on watching this video right now who immediately just turned me off, you're that guy. You're that dude. All right. Cool. Whatever. So let's talk about something very important. If you can inflict a hole on somebody, but do not have the ability or the means to deal with a hole yourself, you're wrong and you need to fix yourself to yesterday. So let's be clear. I am not saying by any means that what you do or is any of my business, but what I am saying is you need to use your head and think about this really critically, because I have a feeling as things get more crazy, we're going to hear more people talking about their gun than talking about what they can do in case they're hurt. Case in point, if I'm being completely honest, I am more afraid of that idiot running a stop sign and hitting my car and hurting me severely than somebody walking into my store and shooting me, or getting into a fight with an Antifa dude who tries to kill me with a whatever. So anyway, that being said, it is something I do, and I hope you do as well, that you take it seriously, that there are some basic things that you should have available to you every time you leave the house with a gun, or realistically every time you leave the house anyway, in some fashion, and that can help you make sure you come home. You carry the offense, time to carry the defense. So this is a pocket lifesaver. This is the enhanced version. But this is a pocket lifesaver from the guys at Student of the Gun. Check out Paul Markle and his team over at studentofthegun.com or shop SOTG.com and pick one of these up. I wish I had a promo code. I am not sponsored or supported in any way by these guys. In fact, I give them money. So this is one of the coolest, what I would consider self-contained oh shit kits that you can buy. And you can spend a ton of money and you can buy that, ankle medical kit from Warrior Poet Society, which to me is absolutely just ridiculous and insanely expensive, and carry around basically an EMS on your ankle, or you can take the basics with you that you need to try to come home alive. And this is basically for the person who carries a gun. I bet most of you right now probably wear cargo pants of some fashion or form and have a cargo pocket. And if you probably have 10 magazines in it, but hey, maybe drop one of those magazines and take something that will plug a hole instead of make a hole. So this comes with a couple really cool things already packed, and it is designed to really handle the most common types of medical emergencies you need to be able to address until help can arrive. And I love at the bottom where it says this: stop the heavy bleeding, open the airway, check breathing, and inspect chest, then call 911. Maybe not in that particular order. I mean, I would call 911 very first thing. But this comes with the stuff you need to address a bleed or an airway issue. So in here is a rat's tourniquet, and I'm not opening this because this does go with me, and I like to keep it sealed for that reason, both for keep it clean, but also keeps it secure. This is a rat's tourniquet. If you're not familiar with them, it is basically a down and dirty tourniquet. It's an elastic, a super strong elastic band. You wrap this around the base of a limb that's bleeding severely, and it cuts off circulation to keep that blood from leaving your body, that precious blood that you do need to live, and ending up on the ground. But it does the job. It's not my favorite tourniquet. In fact, I'm a big fan of the cat tourniquets. Personally, I think that they are a little easier for me anyway to employ and to seat well, but this works great, and you can do this one-handed. If I were to take an injury to an arm or leg, I can still put this tourniquet on myself, let alone someone else, and do it one-handed if I had to. But this can stop bleeding. Then we take it to the next step. So the next thing, here's gauze roll. So there's gauze. What is gauze good for? Well, a lot of things. It can pack a wound. If you have if you had a knife wound or gunshot wound, or maybe in a car accident something has impaled the driver or yourself, or maybe something you've fallen on a fence, on a broken fence post, and now you've got a deep gash in your leg. Well, okay, gauze can be a very good thing. It can pack into a wound to help stop bleeding, but it can also wrap wounds. 3-inch duct tape roll. I'm going to come back to that one, so keep that in mind. 3-inch duct tape roll. Okay. KV sponge. Again, more ways to pack wounds, close wounds, etc. A nasopharyngeal airway, or sometimes referred to as the nose hose. This is a nasopharyngeal airway. The entire purpose of this is if someone has some issues related to their injury that is causing difficulty breathing, you can insert this through the nose, and it can open that airway up, especially if there's trauma to the head and neck. It can be very helpful to restore enough breathing, at least to allow for emergency services to get there and take over. Decompression needle. One very common thing that happens with an impalement injury or blunt force trauma is you can be dealing with a collapsed lung. And if you have an injury that has allowed air into the chest that is now around the lung, causing that lung to collapse because it can't open up, that decompression needle pops into the lung, lets that air, or pops into the chest cavity, not into the lung, into the chest cavity, let that air out, and then now, golden. Now that lung no longer has that pressure, and boom, baby. XL adhesive bandage, pretty self-explanatory. Bleeding, and then some non-latex gloves. So all those things in a package small enough that if I compare it to, say, my phone, which is actually over here recording the audio for this video, is smaller than my iPhone 12 Pro Max. Well, there's a lot of things smaller than an iPhone 12 Pro Max, but this is perfect size for a cargo pocket. I will actually throw this in a coat pocket during the colder time of year. Works great. Everything you need to deal with the very most basics until help can arrive. Now they make, decompression needle. I had it out. I didn't actually, did it open? Oh, it's still sealed. Never mind. I'm not opening it. Sorry. YouTube it, Google it. A knee compression needle. It's a needle, guys. It's pretty self-explanatory, and we all know what a needle looks like. They're scary as hell. But guys, this is very cool, and it's a great price. These are not expensive. I mean, if you go and build one of these yourselves, you're gonna spend the same amount of money, but at least here you're getting it nice and packaged in a nice airtight seal that's got it all nice and sucked down and ready to rock and roll. But guys, go over to shopsotg.com. Check out Student of the Gun. There's great videos on their YouTube channel. You can check them out on YouTube. You can check them out on their own website. And if you have any opportunity to do so, you should. Paul Markle's the shit. Let's just be clear. He is the pimp hand of America. I'm thinking of any other way I can plug these guys, because I tell you what, they are absolutely worth every minute. Go watch, go listen. No holds barred, man. This is one dude who's got the right mindset, and he doesn't mind letting you know it. So check them out, guys. This is the Pocket Lifesaver Enhanced. One other note, and I will toss this out there very quickly. There are different tiers of these available for different types of situations, and I say that only in the sense that there's one like we see here, the Pocket Lifesaver Enhanced, which has got the decompression needle, and then the MPA. There are versions that are just the tourniquet and the gauze roll and the bandage and the gloves, I believe. I think that's the 4 things that are in there, that are actually designed for students. And I don't mean just students of the gun, but if you have high schoolers or you have college age kids that can't take some of these things on campus, but obviously students can bleed too. It's one of the reasons why America is kind of the way it is right now. We see too much of it. But give the most vulnerable the ability to handle business. You may not be able to carry a gun on campus, but honestly, I would love to know the statistics of how many in school shootings or in mass shootings like we just saw in Boulder, how many people died from the gunshot wound versus how many people died because it took too long for medical care to be rendered before they reach the point of no return. Because guys, you may not, if you're somebody who's not big on the gun, whatever, that's cool. That's your business. But we all can agree here, right? We all can agree that, plugging a hole is incredibly important. It may be, and I think in many ways is more important than being able to make a hole. So, do yourself a favor, wrap your head around the fact that, an everyday carry doesn't have to be just the coolest gun and knife. Sometimes it's about the stuff that doesn't look great on Instagram, but keeps you alive nonetheless. Party on, guys. Take it easy. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. See ya.